Hey guys, MeLikeBigBoom here, showing you guys all of the new vehicles that were added this Friday in the Hawaii Overhaul update. Lots of super cool and unique vehicles were added that weren't made known in the actual update post itself. It just said that there was a Hawaii Overhaul and we're left to find all these vehicles ourselves. Well, I've collected all of them in the new airport over to the west. I believe there are 10 new vehicles. Some of them are a little dumb. Some of them are actually really cool and useful. I'm going to go ahead and start by showing you guys all of these new kind of construction vehicles over here. We have the bulldozer, cement truck, and forklift. Now, I'll be honest, these construction vehicles are among the most useless of the vehicles that were added. I'm going to kind of start with the most useless and move to the coolest vehicles in the game. The bulldozer here is, as you would expect it would, a one-seater, incredibly slow vehicle with a top speed of 45 kilometers an hour. It's pretty dang quick for a bulldozer, but not particularly quick for a vehicle in Unturned. I would have expected it to have a whole lot of armor because it's a bulldozer, but it isn't exactly any more well equipped for tearing down things than any other vehicle. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just a one-seater vehicle that's kind of quick, that doesn't have any more health than anything else. I think a cool improvement for this would be to have it have a whole lot of health, like a ton of health. I mean, it's got these treads, it has the huge thing up here. It would be a perfect thing to be able to smash through fences like that, but unfortunately I'm already down to 32% health after smashing through just a few fences. That would be a pretty cool improvement for the bulldozer, but as of now it's quite useless. The cement truck is a two-seater truck that is relatively quick and once again doesn't have any more health than your standard truck, as you can see here. So it's really just kind of oh, I found a semi-truck, I'm gonna be able to get home now, but it's not any more special. I wouldn't be keeping this vehicle. It's mostly just a standard get from point A to point B vehicle, as with most of these vehicles over here. There aren't any good places to place like crates or anything. I guess you could put it on the roof, but they'll be a little exposed. The delivery truck is better in that regard, but we'll get over to that. The skid loader is on the same boat as the bulldozer. It's not very quick, it doesn't have very much health, and in this case you also can't lift or do anything with the forks, and I think that's mostly a limitation with Unturned and the way the vehicles are set up, so we won't be able to use the actual forks on this, though that would be pretty cool. But once again, top speed 45 kilometers an hour and doesn't have very much health. So as I said earlier, these construction vehicles aren't very useful. If you're searching in a construction area and you see a vehicle there, a vehicle in itself is just really useful. It's faster than walking, so these will help you to get back to your base. I wouldn't necessarily keep them. The delivery truck here is a little more useful. It may only have 2 seats, and it does have that huge space in the back where you'd expect to be able to put yourself, but once again, it still only has 2 seats. You cannot go in the back over there. It has a top speed of 55 kilometers an hour, which is a little bit quicker than the other construction vehicles that we were taking a look at. I'd say the redeeming quality of this is that it has an enclosed area in the back for you to place down crates, so this would make for a good scavenger-esque vehicle that allows you to place all kinds of crates in the back without it being like fully exposed for somebody that's watching. I mean, from a distance it would just look like somebody's driving a delivery truck, but you can easily hide some stuff in the back, and that's pretty useful for the delivery truck. It also kind of makes sense. I mean, a delivery truck is designed to hold stuff in the back, and you could hold all your stuff back here. You could probably fit maybe 4 crates back here. Moving on, we're getting to some of the more unique vehicles here. We have a makeshift raft here, and despite it saying makeshift, and I'm sure this is a glitch, I cannot find the crafting recipe for this. I'm assuming that this is a craftable item. It's a makeshift item, so judging by the rain barrels and the wood and the engine on the back, I'm assuming the crafting recipe should include 4 rain barrels, maybe some like wood posts or logs or something, and a generator, though I don't think it was configured correctly. I'm very much assuming that this will be fixed in the next update, but this doesn't have a crafting recipe right now. I don't think you can find it, but assuming when this is fixed, the makeshift raft is just, as you would expect it would, a very small little raft that can go across the water. It's not exactly on water right now, and it's not very quick, but once again, it's makeshift, it gets the job done, gets you from the shore to the base, so where you can raid it. Unfortunately, it's not very quiet. I wish it was kind of a quieter version of a regular regular boats, that it would give you incentive to use this instead of a full-blown boat. But once again, it's just a makeshift. That's kind of the idea behind makeshift vehicles in Unturned. Kind of a lower-end vehicle for those who are having trouble finding unlocked vehicles out in the wild. Regardless, these are kind of the vehicles that I've set in this corner, the construction, delivery truck, and makeshift vehicle. Moving on from the makeshift raft we have here, we have some similar vehicles that aren't necessarily makeshift, but kind of look similar. These are super cool, kind of getting a Mad Max vibe here with this sport dune buggy and the scavenger off-roading truck. Both of these are super cool. They have all the exposed tube frame chassis, and then over here the scavenger is, as you would expect it would, a perfect off-roading vehicle that's kind of not very good at shielding you from bullets, though, you know, it has all these opportunities for you to put on your own kind of shielding with metal plates and stuff, and it has this huge area in the back for you to put in as many crates as you'd like. Just look at this thing. It is so cool looking, so awesome just driving this across the beach, and it's also really quick. Look at that. Top speed of, well, I mean, we're kind of popping wheelies. Oh my god. Okay. It is a little bit squishy with the suspension. You'll notice there's some pretty big body roll as I'm going around the corners. But if you're going in a straight line... Whoa, this needs some fixing, actually, to be honest. Top speed of upwards of 80 kilometers an hour. Very, very quick vehicle. But very unstable, which I'm sure can be improved. Like, look at this thing. Holy smokes. The suspension is just too soft for the power that's involved here. The sport dune buggy, I did drive it a little bit in order to park it, and I think that one's a little bit better. Though this, of course, doesn't have the advantage of having all the space to put crates, but this will get you from point A to point B very quickly, and you'll notice that this seems to handle, well, maybe not. Hold on. Doesn't have very much health. Gosh, there's some weird stuff going on with the steering on the new vehicles. I'm hoping that this will be improved upon, because I'm having like terrible understeer. This one's a bit too stiff for its own good. Look at that, it's popping wheelies. Oh, and it's on fire now. Well, there's a bit of improvement. Oh, wow. Yes, that was the sport dune buggy. Once again on the same boat, very quick. They look fantastic, and I'm assuming with some improvements they will be made just as useful as they are cool looking. But you can generally get the idea of the benefits of both these vehicles: a very quick dune buggy and a very quick scavenger vehicle. Moving on to this, one of my favorites, really. I love this thing. This is called the Lagareno. I'm assuming that this is kind of supposed to be a Lamborghini, you know, Lagareno, Lamborghini. This is by far the fastest vehicle that we have in the game thus far. It is meant to be a supercar. I mean, look at this thing. It's got the extended wide body fenders in the rear, a big wide stance in the front. The headlights are a little dumb. They're a little too close to each other. They should be widened out like right here, I'd say. But you can definitely see what they're going for here with this Lagareno sports car. Very cool. And once again, almost too fast for its own good. I mean, it's going to need some tweaking with the suspension in the same way that the sport dune buggy needs, because this is quite unstable. It is incredibly quick, among the fastest that we've gotten in the game. I would like to get a top speed reading, but once again, it's kind of unstable. Wow, look at that. 110 kilometers an hour, very quick for Unturned. Let's look at that. But as you can see, it's almost too fast for its own good, becoming very unstable, which I'm assuming will be improved in the future. But look at this thing. The rear end is a pretty cool angle here, like right about here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. It only comes in red. There's only one Lagareno. It is in red. It looks like this. I don't know where you can find all these vehicles, to be honest, but I would start looking in some pretty posh neighborhoods in order to find something like this. This is super cool. Now, we've really taken a look at almost all of the vehicles in the game. Now we're moving on to some of the aerial vehicles. This right here is a craftable gyrocopter. Super super cool. It behaves as a plane, though looks like a helicopter. You can see that it has some makeshift stuff on the back. It's got like this little pinwheel, water wheel thing made out of tubes, just like those vehicles over there. Though once again, this is craftable. The crafting recipe is this stuff here. A lot of stuff. You'll also need a blowtorch and level 3 crafting, as you would expect from being able to make a helicopter. But lots of sheet metal, lots of metal bars, tape, chemicals, generator. Once you have that, you have yourself your own aerial vehicle. Perfect. Look at this thing. Now once again, it behaves like a plane, though looks like a helicopter, so it sounds like a plane, and it takes off like a plane, though it kind of floats up, you see? So it's kind of a weird in-between. It can float stationary, I think, a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely a weird vehicle. Though its redeeming factor is that it's craftable. That is so useful. I mean, you just take all this stuff, you can whip it all together, and now you have a makeshift vehicle here, the gyro makeshift vehicle, and then you can place it down and have your own aerial vehicle so that you can do some insane base rates. That's so cool. It is a one-seater, which is unfortunate, though, I mean, the ability of it being craftable is just incredibly useful. When you equip this, you can just place it down on the ground, and there you have it. Now I have this gyro that I crafted while I was flying earlier. So without touching anything, you'll notice that it kind of takes off on its own. I didn't tilt it up or anything. That's that kind of half plane, half helicopter aspect working. So I'm able to like fly across the surface quickly, almost at speeds of like a sandpiper. Though if I start pressing S and slowing down, it will start to hover, and then I can land vertically on a roof or something like that. But I love how like light it feels. Like they did a pretty good job of actually making it feel like what it looks like. And here we go, coming in for a landing, just like that. Able to land exactly where I want it to, and super small, so I can get it wherever I want it to be. That's perfect. One of my favorite vehicles right there in regards to practicality. The auto gyro, craftable as well. Very cool. Now moving on to one of my favorites, not necessarily because it's practical, but just because it's so unique. A hot air balloon. Look at this thing. Man, I never would have expected getting a hot air balloon. It is a two-seater, as you can see from the two seats here. And it is not necessarily very, like, useful. It also sounds like a helicopter, which is really weird and needs to be fixed immediately because I'm never... Look at this. What is up with the helicopter sound in the hot air balloon? But yes, it is, you know, it may be a little strange, and the ability to turn, just look at this. Like, it is so slow. Man, the helicopter sound needs to be changed immediately, but once that is fixed, this will be a nice little relaxing... Oh my gosh, I'm falling. Oh no. Oh no. Man, it's really throwing me off, the helicopter sound. You know, once again, this is not practical in any way. It is super slow. It only has two seats. It will explode when you touch anything. It will definitely not do very well in any sort of PvP setting, but I just love it so much because it's a hot air balloon, and it would be kind of funny to see this thing flying across the sky. And wow, I landed on the railing. Wow, that was beautiful. Yeah, well, that was great. With that out of the way, that's basically all of the new vehicles that were added this week in the Hawaii Overhaul update. Which vehicle is your favorite? It's coming down pretty close for me. I mean, imagine once all these vehicles kinks get worked out, I'd say the Lagareno is up there, the Gyrocopter is up there, and this tube frame chassis Scavenger is up there as well. It's a hard choice, but vote in the poll card to the top right. Let me know which one is your favorite. But regardless, those were all the vehicles that were added. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish because MeLikeBigBoom is out.